And we are underway.
Art piece and map. So nothing really interesting in Sankerlink's house. So red crystal at Eastern Palace and regular pendant at Tower Hera. I think it was a regular crystal at Desert Palace. Not 100% sure on that though.
Yep, and it looks like on the leftover side, Mystik is going to take care of the Lost Woods and Lumberjack checks. Meanwhile, Toplife is going to head to the castle. Megawatt farming for bombs and Frostbite going up to that Lumberjack area as well.
So we will see if this is an Agaseed at least immediately. Ooh, Moon Pearl. Just a heart container on the Lumberjack ledge, so not immediately required, but it's not out of the question yet.
And what is on race game today? It is $50, so Megawatt probably will pass that by, but early cash may be tempting for some runners.
20 rupees on library ledge.
And it looks like Toplife is going to go farm for some bombs, getting a couple right away, and heading on up to the race game in Kakariko Town. Meanwhile, Megawatt making it into Kakariko.
Not much yet. Except a Moon Pearl. Where was the Moon Pearl again, Uncle?
Uncle's chest.
Powder?
So Chicken Hut has powder for us today, and meanwhile, all of our runners are going to convene and have a group high five in the middle of Kakariko Town as everybody is starting to arrive.
Indeed. Although, personally, I like the idea with co-op of one person going South Shore while one person goes Kakariko. Kind of covers more ground that way.
Yeah. There is distinct advantages, though, because if there is something big like money, like a big 300 in Kakariko, you possibly, or say the Moon Pearl or Flippers, you wouldn't be able to loop in the Zora area as well for the person that went South Shore. So there's benefits and not so much benefits.
Doesn't seem like there's anything in Kak though, except the powder.
Yeah, we're just seeing a bunch of money. And not even big money, just like 50s and 20s.
I do think we already saw our 100 though. So
that is the that's probably the emptiest Kakariko I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was pretty pitiful.
Alright, and in the dam, we've got Megawatt. Check it out, South Shore. So the dam has 10 arrows in the inside chest, and we'll see what's underwater outside. Meanwhile, Frostbite headed over to Eastern as Mystik finishes up Kakariko Town, and Toplife picks up some bombs to, looks like, head to Eastern as well.
Let's see what's in the back of Saha's closet, though. Skullwoods' green pendant.
And Megawatt's going to give our first look at the mini Moldorm cave. Meanwhile, Saha's closet.
Bunch of love, but not required. So a pretty empty start, goodness.
Yeah, where is that progression? And there's some
love. So that puts Zora in logic. Although we don't have the money currently. You know, I'm just calling it now that Zora's gonna be required.
That may be the case. I mean, we're coming up pretty freaking empty.
Well, we're about to see Ice Rod Cave. Also, Megawott needs to be a little careful because these crabs hurt. It's gonna be a one-hit kill if one touches him. Most dangerous enemies in Light World, I think. Also, what was the first chest at Eastern?
I did not catch that.
Doesn't look like it was anything, though, judging by the trackers. $300.
So we do have the back of escape. Looks like Megawatt is going to give us our first look at that. And we got a big 300 in Eastern. So Frostbite and Toplife picking that one up. Frostbite having that 500 now.
So, according to chat, we have found two items, a 20 and a 300. Hammer? Okay, that's Dark World access.
And all Megawatt has to do is make his way to Uncle, and he will have that Moon Pearl. Looks like on the Phendrana Drifter side, neither has made it up that direction, so it looks like Megawatt is going to be the first.
Okay, so is Armos going to be the last item, or is the Vanilla Big Key chest? Oh, that is an unfortunate death for Mystik.
So Megawatt now has full Dark World access, so we're going to expect to see Megawatt go there pretty soon because there's not a whole lot left. There's just kind of scraps left in the Light World, you know, given the items that they have.
Yep. Also,
So,
why did Frostbite opt to save and quit out of Eastern?
I did not see that, and it looks like we're frozen on Top Life side. We'll try to get that back as soon as we can.
So Krupp, Aga is not required at this point. Is it all dungeons? Lord.
Yeah, co-op week is all dungeons.
I didn't know that.
And so Mystik is going to head up to the Uncle and Escape area. Meanwhile, Megawatt doing the front of Escape.
Yeah, found a sword and a piece of heart so far. So unless he finds a key in the Zelda's... Actually, I don't think you can. Okay, so the Dark Maze is gonna have the small key, so don't need to check that.
Yep, and looks like Frostbite's going to grab that Moon Pearl, so Frostbite is Frostbite's probably going to be start gearing up for that Dark World. Megawatt can relay the information where the hammer and the glove is, and can then they can both attack the Dark World at the same time.
Yep. But mushroom and a sword in the front of Escape. But going to Dark World, probably gonna see a map check. I saw Blue Pendant Mire. I missed the other 5-6. Did you catch the other 5-6 by chance?
I did not. So, Top Life gonna get that Ice Rod Cave heart, and then the leftovers. Looks like Top Life has the glove. I'm not sure if Mystik picked that up from Mini Moldorm yet, but
Wow, completely dry hype cave.
yeah, one of them is gonna need to check back of escape sometime soon here and get that hammer. And it looks like Top Life is going to fake Flipper and go ahead and go and check out Hobo. We'll see if they also go up to Zora.
Flippers. Okay. 10 arrows in the Gina's cave.
Alright, looks like Mystik is headed back down to Mini Moldorm. And it looks like Top Life is headed up to the Zora waterfall area, so this is our first look at that. Meanwhile, Mystik, round 2 on the Mini Moldorm cave. And Mystik picking up that glove, and we got a rod in the waterfall cave. I didn't catch which one, but
Fire rod according to chat.
So there we go. We got Fire Rod in the waterfall. And it looks like Top Life is going to go back of escape, so the leftovers will have the knowledge of how to get access to Dark World at this point. And Megawott is going to find that Fire Rod now. We'll be able to get into that waterfall, and looks like the advantage of that, knowing where that Fire Rod was for the leftovers, is short-lived. But Top Life entering the Dark World, and Mystik going to grab that Fire Rod.
Yep. And that is indeed the fire rod.
So Top Life going to be disappointed by Hype Cave here, and Megawatt going to tell us, because I don't recall Top Life going all the way to Zora. Going to show us what's on Zora here. And Mystik going to pick up the hammer from the back of Escape and head into the Dark World as well. So King Rip-Off today. Meanwhile, Frostbite in the Village of Outcasts. And it looks like Top Life is headed to Pod, so this is our first look at the Pod area. So Top Life will show us what's here. This is a good usage, I think, of team resources because generally without the bow or the lamp, you kind of like avoid pod sometimes. But when you have a teammate that can go out and check these things while another teammate is checking the standard things, that could lead to a huge knowledge advantage. And Frostbite giving us our first Thieves Town check. So, pod not bow locked. We get that small key in the first chest.
Yep. Although the back can still be key locked. Alright, and was Desert maybe the other 5-6?
That is possible. That was a quick map check. I saw for a split second there, and I didn't even have time to process what was on the screen. So we have the Vendrana Drifters, both of them in Thieves Town at the same time. It is a crystal, so it's something that can be completed, but any knowledge gained here as to if there's any items will be pretty much known by both teammates without even having to share the information. So it looks like Mystik is going to head into Thieves Town here.
Alright, yeah, so Eastern and Desert were 5-6, and Meyer, Tower Hera were regular pendants, with Skollitz's the green pendant.
And we've got a little bit of a sync on Vendrana Drifter's side.
Oh wow, you're not kidding. That is some sync.
So no need to explain to your teammate what's going on in Thieves Town there, because you're right on top of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure I agree with that when you're doing co-op.
Yeah, I mean, again, there's benefits and there's not. Like, it's something you both need to do, so I guess you get it out of the way. But what the leftovers are doing, splitting the dungeons up, can lead to a better knowledge situation. Because, like, if something big showed up in Thieves Town, both of the Vendrana Drifters would have it immediately at the same time. But, it's got its benefits and drawbacks. But Thieves Town is a bust, so...
Unless, Blind has something.
And Pod seems to be a bust pretty much as well. We've got a few checks we can do until we're finished here, but nothing's turned up so far. And we got a heart container in the lower right chest. And
Oh my.
Megawatt using...
Yeah, having some pause strats.
And
Boots!
wow! So... See, that's exactly, you know, kind of what I was getting at is, you know, having both of them having the boots at the same time is going to lead to some huge advantages at that point. So, kind of a gamble to do the same dungeon at the same time, but it did pay off. So they'll be off to the races, and Top Life will not know that the boots are there until Mystik is done. But it won't give Phendrana Drifters too much of an advantage overall because Mystik will find those boots pretty quickly, and Top Life will be exploring Skull Woods, getting new information. But it does look like Phendrana Drifters are splitting up. Frostbite going to do some overworld checks, grabbing the flippers, and Megawatt checking out Skull Woods.
Alright, so I suspect we're about to see Bonk Rocks. Yep. Book? Okay. Well, there's desert access.
Well, speaking of knowledge, you can share the knowledge of the book with your teammate in this co-op way.
Actually able to be full cleared, isn't it? What with right side knowing where the fire rod is?
What being able to be full cleared?
Desert.
Oh, yes. And the magic bat, let's see what he has for us today.
Heart container.
A heart container.
You are cursed with being able to have more health.
So that's something that Megawatt probably won't pick up, so...
Alright, time for the moth fight. On 6 Hearts Green Mail, this is a pretty risky fight, especially with hammer strats. But Megawatt dodging the spikes fairly well here.
Unfortunately for Top Life, though, does not have a sword, so will not be able to get to the moth.
Oh my, neither of the left side has been to escape, have they? At least the front. And Megawatt gets the moth down without taking any damage. That is impressive.
And it does look like Mystik will get that book knowledge. And that was an impressive hammer moth from Megawatt. Megawatt's been practicing those swordless runs, must have been.
Wait, where was Mirror? Apparently Top Life got the mirror in Skull Woods.
Oh. And there it is.
Yep.
So, looks like Mystik is headed to the front of Escape, and will be able to get that first sword. Something Top Life wishes he would have had before.
Yeah, that's easy to forget about, that you need a sword for the back of Skull Woods. I actually saw someone climb the entirety of a good tower before realizing they didn't have a sword when they went to slash the curtain.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
It did!
Alright, so Toplife is headed through Thieves Town. We'll be able to just kind of skip everything. That's the other thing that you get an advantage of is in co-op is when you're in dungeons, you can tell your teammate, don't bother except for these chests.
Yep, also, West Wing of Swamp looks like it's garbage. Or at least not worth going to West Wing Swamp, anyway.
And so it looks like Megawatt is going to do Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb here. So we'll get to see what's going on with those checks there.
You know, interestingly, if you get spin speed, but minus like the touching a manual staircase because there isn't one nearby, you can just walk right into King's Tomb. It's a fun little trick.
Yeah, because spin speed is you're technically in a dashing state, so that does make sense. Alright, King's Tomb has Quake. Not sure if that's going to be required, but we've got Bombos and Quake already, so we are 66% complete on our medallions, and so unless Ether is required, we're pretty set.
Yep.
And here comes the mushroom check. Meanwhile, Frostbite about finished with Desert here.
Does this actually work and count as turning into mushroom and transitioning?
Yes. Oh my!
Hits!
It's the Titan's Mitts on the mushroom. The fetch quest paid off.
Absolutely required.
And with a fetch quest like the mushroom, without the flute, we'll get to see how long it takes for the leftovers to turn that one in, because without the flute, the mushroom is kind of left on its own. But maybe when someone goes to check Catfish, they'll do that, just as Megawatt did.
And just 3 bombs for their troubles. Toplife gonna need to be a little careful. Ooh! That's very unfortunate.
And it looks like Mystik is headed straight to the back. Forgot to grab the mirror, so going back for that. And then Mystik will head on out to the moss.
Yeah, it's quite unfair, really, that the game counts you as dead, but doesn't count the boss as dead if you both die. Like, come on, game.
And Mystik getting a little lucky there, getting hit by the jelly, because that wall master was gonna grab Mystik, but the enemy damaged and pushed it out of the way. So we are going up Death Mountain on Megawatt's side for the first time.
Top Life really wanting to get this done. You know, at some point though, you gotta wonder is it really worth it to keep going at it with your current equipment?
Well, I mean, it is the boots, so it could be worth it in Top Life's mind, but
I mean,
Top Life
boots only
decides to...
save so much time. Oh no! Mystik gets grabbed out of the pit. Version 1.0 exclusive glitch here. It's super annoying.
Well, not only does the boots give the speed, it also gives access to the book for Top Life, so that is
Okay,
also
just
kind of
a
important.
bottle and the ether tablet. True, but still, when you know where a sword is, it might just be worth it to go grab that first.
Alright, so we've got a Hera check. Item 1 is a heart container.
Eastern and Desert are the 5-6 crystals today.
And Mystik trying to get back to the moth, and we're gonna see if the hand stays away this time. Meanwhile, Top Life checking Cave 45, and it's got the hook shot.
Oh
Huge
my.
knowledge. I would not be surprised to see Top Life go up to Death Mountain after this.
A piece of heart is in your house, Numpty. Thanks, game.
And Top Life picking up the first set of flippers for the leftovers.
That death. Ouch.
Yeah, and Mystik says, "I will come back for you later."
Yeah, nothing really important on Mothula, unless Sahabadu has something.
But we're getting a ped check.
It's gonna be, guys. I make things go triple boom. Boo.
So,
Also, did you catch what Moldorm had?
I did not catch what Moldorm had. I was too ped hyped. Alright, so Top Life is going to go grab that sword. And we'll be able to save Kodan out of there. And again, probably going to head up to Death Mountain at this point.
Yep. Also, just a shield on the floating island. I always forget to check that, and then I just blind check it.
But the one thing that Top Life doesn't have that would be an advantage going up Death Mountain is the Titans Mitch, which are on the mushroom.
Yep, but neither of the left side knows about the mushroom being the midst currently.
But Megawatt giving us a Paradox Cave look. Nothing in the first two chests.
Bombos. Alright, so 20 rupees, 5 rupees, heart piece. Annoying mini Moldorm. 300 rupees. 10 arrows. Garbage.
Yeah, and while Megawatt does not have the hook shot at the moment, we'll be able to check at least the bunk chest in Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny. And that hook shot will not probably evade the Phendrana Drifters for long, because once one of them does all the blacksmith chain stuff, we'll probably see that Cave 45 routed in.
You know, Hookshot Cave being about the only place left that hovering's the only way across other than Hookshot, now that I think about it.
And Toplife back at it again. Looks like having an easier time with the sword. And take it down blind.
Go. Gonna get his boots. I don't know if that'd be more relieving or annoying at that point. Just 2 heart pieces in the Super Bunny Cave.
And here's our blacksmith chain on Frostbite side. So we'll probably see the Phendrana Drifters get knowledge on that hook shot very soon.
Ice Rod? Okay. That's a good find, because that's a very, very elusive item sometimes.
Yeah, and as far as major items go, we're just looking for, let's see, we're looking for
Bow,
flute.
Samaria, flute, maybe ether, a sword? I think that's it. Did anybody check Sick Kid?
Nobody has, I think.
Just 20 rupees from Sahabadu. Speaking of a sword,
We've got vanilla blacksmiths. And Mystik about to go to the... did not go to the back. Or went to the back first.
data put all dungeons key sanity is the best mode. Just saying.
Oh, and Toplife going over here. Looks like we got the mirror out, so they'll find the Titan's bits. Oh wait, he does not have the mushroom.
Oh. Oh no. Oh. Why?
Oh, that's... yeah, the only thing I can think of that'll bring them back that way is the flute.
Oh. And that could be in Ganon's tower.
And we got half magic on Bombos. That's a nice find right there. Wait, did Frostbite not do Cave 45?
Apparently not.
Oh, that is big. And we're getting our first Sick Kid check on Megawatt side, so let's see what the Sick Kid has today. And it is his
300.
entire year's worth of allowance.
You know, though, that's another problem with, co-op is that you assume when your opponent says that they did this path that they did everything on it. So if they say they, did the whole loop around, you assume they did Cave 45 when in fact they didn't.
Mystik getting a huge hint. Silver arrows in Mimic Cave.
Ooh, that is nice. Oh, and we're going to Ice Palace.
So we're getting some new dungeons. We got Swamp on the leftover side, Mystik in Swamp, and Megawatt going into Ice.
It's just a joke hint and a compass. What did he just die to? At least
I
it
am
was
not sure.
right at the start, so.
But Frostbite bringing the old man home for the good old 5 rupees. And so Top Life, let's see, where is Top Life gonna head next? Looks like up Death Mountain. Alright, so Megawatt headed down, and we're going to see another hint tile here. Book of Adora requires the boots.
Thanks, game. We totally didn't find those earlier.
But yeah, on the leftover side, that hookshot advantage could pay off for quite some time.
But
as you said,
at the same time, the mitts advantage.
Yeah, I mean, both teams have a significant advantage over the other. Which one is bigger? We don't know yet.
I mean, honestly, it kind of scares me because right side is going to assume that Cave 45 was checked.
Yeah, that's the bigger issue. If they assume that K45 is checked, that could come back to haunt them. Whereas the Mystik and Top Life know they haven't checked Mushroom.
I've seen it before with, co-op-ish things where it just like you sit there and are like, what did we miss? Are you sure you checked this? When you're like, you've lost for like an hour already. Ooh, there's the lamp in Samaria.
Well, look at that. Swamp is big, so that hookshot advantage extends even farther, being able to find that Cane of Samaria. And a sword.
There's another sword, yep. So we got Smiths, we got back a swamp, and we got escape. And another joke hint for our last hint of Ice Palace. So Ice Palace sends absolute garbage today.
Yeah, and Megawatt's gonna have to bomb jump across here.
It's not the hardest bomb jump ever.
Meanwhile, Mystik taking down Argus. I should say taking on Argus. Still pretty low on health.
Opting to slash rather than spin attack. Have we found Blue Mail? I don't think we found... Wait, where was it?
Blue Mail was on Pyramid Ledge.
Ah.
So, as far as total items seen, we're just looking for the flute and the bow now. So that's you know, the unseen items that we haven't seen.
And ether if it's required.
Yeah.
And yeah, that flute can still be in Ganon's tower.
So Mystik taking down Argus, and again, that hook shot really could pay off big if the Phendrana drifters don't get to it.
Well, thanks, game. Peace art is in the Dark Village. Such a useful hint.
Where was the mushroom? It was in Ice Rod Cave,
Escape.
I think.
No, it
Or
was in Zelda Cell.
Oh, Zelda Cell. Okay. That's why Top Life doesn't have it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, Dreams Like Desert, it's just a, triple bombs.
So it does look like Mystik is headed up to Death Mountain as well. And Top Life going to Paradox Cave here.
I don't think we actually saw anything of worth in Ice Palace, did we?
I haven't seen anything. But the one thing that's gonna elude the leftovers for now is gonna be the Ice Rod. However, it's not too big of a deal because they will probably check, once they do find the Titan's Mitts, they will probably check Hookshot Cave before going into Turtle Rock.
There's a fairy in a bottle. A unique item is on a boss. Well, there's our boots hint. Also, Ice Palace complete garbage. But that's good knowledge for Frostbite so that he can just go mode it.
Yeah. Alright, so Top Life headed... And the other thing is, Top Life doesn't have the mushroom, and so Mystik is... Once Mystik actually goes and turns in the mushroom, because I don't think Top Life is gonna go back for that mushroom unless that Mystik tells Top Life, hey, it's something. And so Mystik's gonna have to remember where that mushroom was to tell Top Life to go get it.
Also, have we checked Bombo's tablet? Because I think we're running out of locations at this. Oh, this is huge. Okay, Megawatt's going to Cave 45. But I think that Bombos might be our only location left we haven't seen.
Bombos was half magic, and we have not seen all of Hookshot Cave, so there is that as well.
Oh, that's true. So...
Oh, it looks like Frostbite was doing some stuff, and Megawatt just told him, hey, there's Hookshot here.
Yeah. But... Yeah, we're pretty much down to... Can you think of anything else we've skipped other than the 3 chests in Hookshot Cave? So I can't think of anything. Oh, Turtle Rock, that's true.
Yeah, Turtle Rock and the green pendant.
Also, can we get a hook shot on Megawott, please? Flute? Where was Flute? Ah, cool Papa Bell. Trust me when I say that tracker sometimes likes to eat inputs.
Alright, so Mystik gonna take down Moldorm. Meanwhile, Toplife is gonna go get the goodies out of Swamp. But yeah, for if Mystik goes and checks Mushroom anytime soon, that will be good news for the leftovers, but I can't see really any incentive that Mystik would have without the flute to go out of their way just to check Mushroom.
I mean, they're running out of locations. Isn't that incentive enough?
True enough.
I mean, eventually you're just gonna run out of locations.
And no Titansmiths, and I would say that this might actually be it. No.
What?
It looked like Mystik was headed to try to head straight to the right, past King's Tomb, but then Save quit.
Oh, guys. Press F. I hope that Mystik remembers that he has the mushroom. Because if not, that could be pretty problematic.
It looks like Mystik is gonna do a pyramid ledge. Maybe Mystik was deciding to go for mushroom and then said, "Okay, I'll do pyramid ledge 2," and then do mushroom as after that. Well, if you're a leftovers fan, let's hope that that's what they're doing.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a rooting for either in particular. I just kind of want to see a close race. That's what I'm rooting for.
And Mystik is headed up that way, so we'll probably get a mushroom check because Mystik would know that Catfish is dead if Toplife conveyed that message.
Oh, Mystik!
And Toplife getting that half magic. Meanwhile, Mystik, I believe it was Quake in King's Tomb?
I think so, yeah. Also, Megawott and Frostbite just beating Argus now.
Alright, so it looks like basically Megawott is gonna go pick up half magic and do desert probably here. Meanwhile, Frostbite's gonna do ice, and I guess they'll both do Turtle Rock together.
I mean, that's pretty much all we have left that we don't know at this point.
Oh, we're getting mushroom!
Shot cave. Oh my goodness, finally. I'm worried it might be a little too late at this point, though.
But again, Mystic's gonna have to remember where that mushroom was because Top Life will have to go get that as well. And Top Life opting to do Aga.
I mean, they're gonna have to anyway. And there's the mitts for Mystik.
So...
Surgery, yes, this is co-op.
And it looks like Top Life is gonna finish out Aga Tower. Generally, in an all dungeon seed, you see people save Aga for last, unless there's something on Lumberjack.
Yeah, but nothing wrong with doing it now.
And so Mystik is going up to East Death Mountain, and we'll see what is in Hookshot Cave.
Yes, Lumberjack Cave has been checked. It was a heart container, I want to say. Some arrows is near a switch. Thank you, game.
So we probably will see the flute. Well, we may see the flute in GT. It could also be in Turtle Rock. There's plenty of checks there.
What is Turtle Rock gonna be?
Bombos.
Okay, and we are getting a Hookshot Cave check, it looks like.
Alright, so Mystik will get the Ice Rod, but is there anything else in here? Because this is the first time we're seeing the rest of it.
Well, I mean, it's either here or it's in Turtle Rock, so it really doesn't matter either way at this point.
And it's the bow!
The bow. I can't really say I'm surprised. Like, it just kind of felt like the bow had to be here or Turtle Rock.
Now, what could play out if Vendrana Drifters is too eager to commit to Turtle Rock, they may skip Hookshot Cave off the bat. So I don't know.
Yeah. But we are getting a Turtle Rock clear. Maybe the flute will be in here.
And Mystik does know that the silvers are in Mimic. I believe that Vendrana Drifters checked that hint as well.
This just feels so rough for the leftovers. Megawott has 6 dungeons down and is about to enter his 7th. It's only missing the flute and maybe the ether medallion.
And Top Life going ahead and picking up that blue mail, but again... Oh, it looks like Top Life... Yep, is gonna go get that mushroom.
Yep. Also, I do think that it was either Top Life or it was Mystik who did Desert Palace. Looking like Top Life because Mystik only has 2 crystals.
Alright, so... we got a shovel.
Fetch quest time. Although I would do the rest of Turtle Rock before doing that, since you have to anyway.
Nah, you gotta leave and just do the shovel right away. It's so exciting.
Oh man, yeah, Vanilla Flute would be pretty funny.
Well, it looks like,
Yeah, both for Frostbite and for Megawatt, please.
yeah, it looks like pretty much we've got all the items, and except for Flute, and it'll have to show up eventually at this point, because I think all the overworld checks are done. Ooh, and Mystik taking a chain chomp to the face. And what's on Lava Chest? It's the big key. So Frostbite and Megawatt both in Turtle Rock, just Frostbite just a little bit behind, and Toplife finally picking up that Titan's Mitt here on the mushroom turn-in. So looks like Megawatt is headed out to probably grab those silvers. And here we go, Megawatt picking up them silvers in Mimic. And Toplife headed up to East Death Mountain for the bow and Turtle Rock, probably. Because at this point, you're already up here, you might as well do Turtle Rock, even though your teammate is doing the same. Because leaving to go do Eastern and Pod would be kind of lost time, since there's really nothing to be found there.
Yeah, plus, you know, it's just like... Turtle Rock in Go Mode is not that much faster, even if you did find your remaining items. Plus, you could find something in Turtle Rock, like the flute.
Yeah, the only way they'll be able to quote-unquote go mode Turtle Rock, because we've got a vanilla big key, so you can't skip Lava Chest, is if there's nothing on the Laser Bridge, then one of them can skip that.
And there's our silvers, like we're promised. And to whoever's tracking the top, can we get a bow on Megawatt, please?
Megawatt hasn't picked it up yet.
That's me. I thought he was the first.
No, Frostbite went and got it. Megawatt had already went to Hookshot.
Oh.
So he'll probably go.
I saw Mystik do it.
And we got Cape on Laser Bridge, so Laser Bridge does not have the flute.
Seems kind of silly to skip out on the doing that, but hey, I guess it works.
So, what that tells about... Oh, and Mystik, too eager, the hook shot it off the platform and didn't have enough magic to create a new one, so had to burn a potion.
Alright.
Yeah, but given that Cape was on Laser Bridge and we don't have Blue Cane or the third shield, because we know where second shield is, it's on the floating island, so I would have to say that perhaps...
And just a piece of heart. So, let's see what that shovel has.
And Frostbite gonna go grab that cape. And Toplife is going to head on back to the middle section of Turtle Rock here.
Alright, and there's the bow for Megawott. So, where is he going?
Spy Cave.
Oh, we haven't seen that, have we? Isn't logic with that cape and half magic and bottles.
Fancore Megawatt is not in go mode because it is all dungeons and we do need the flute.
Flute and potentially ether.
But it looks like Megawatt is headed over to the Pod Eastern area to finish those out.
Not sure I agree with not doing the dig spot first.
And Mystik picking up a bonus fairy by powdering one of those anti-fairies and getting a little bit of a safety bump here.
I do not think Megawatt's on blue mail though. No. King's Tomb, I believe. Fruit test.
King's Tomb was Quake.
Did Team Leftovers never check the blacksmiths?
No, they did. I know at least Toplife did.
Where was the third sword again?
That I don't recall.
Oh my Mystik, please be careful.
Oh, they never had mints, that's right.
Oh
So,
no. Oh.
Mystik
Okay.
had a fairy, so... But... out of magic.
Oh no.
And I don't know if Mystik did go outside at Laser Bridge. Okay, they did, so... At least they did that.
Yep. Oh, that's oh man. Oh, that's right. Megawatt never. We've not seen the Eastern Palace Big Key chest, have we?
I believe we may have early on, but I don't think it was anything. Because I'm pretty sure Leftovers did Eastern.
Well, I think it has to be the big key, but... Or not.
I don't know if the Fendrana Drifters have been in here yet.
A little confused why Megawatt never did the big chest either. Megawatt? Megawatt, are you forgetting something? No, it can't be. Oh, okay.
Okay, and Mystik getting the last head down with just the last bit of magic they had. So, very close one. And just
3 bombs.
And Toplife coming into Trinex with half magic, so we'll have a bit of an easier time at this.
Still needs to be careful though.
Yeah,
Okay.
can't afford to waste magic unnecessarily. Not with the Master Sword. And Frostbite taking on Helmasaur King.
Guessing he did the Bowlock side as well.
Down goes Helma.
He is going to have 20 rupees.
We also haven't seen a green pendant check, so this might be...
Yes, we did. It was 20 rupees.
Oh, we did? Okay. Alright, so Toplife out of Turtle Rock and is now gonna head to Spike Cave, it looks like.
Frostbite gonna be able to just go straight to Armos and then go up to the mountain and probably do Tower of Hera and then Ganon's Tower. Sleepy Night, honestly, I'd beat Terra first. Just because, you know, you're gonna do it anyway, and it's just faster to go ahead and do that and then Ganon's Tower.
And Mystik is headed into Pod here. Meanwhile, Toplife looks like they may be heading to the Pod area as well. Or perhaps it's going to be an Ice Palace.
I believe Ice Palace is nothing, but they might go there. Yep, go into Ice Palace.
And Nobody has checked Pyramid Fairy Surger, so we've got that.
That is true.
But again, we also have GT, which has a lot of places to hide stuff. Because all we need is flute.
Yep, going to the mountain.
And Mystik playing with the beetles. Those are probably one of the most annoying enemies in the game.
Yeah, not as annoying as in Link's Awakening.
So, Top Life headed through. I think maybe I could be wrong. Perhaps the third sword is here.
I don't think so.
Oh wait, no, never mind. It's at. You're right. It's at the it's at the blacksmith because they got Titan's Mid so late. That's right.
Flute!
Wow, vanilla flute. So at unless ether's required for Meyer, we're in go mode on Megawatt's side.
Yes, everybody shout at Fred for a game he didn't, for a randomizer he didn't make. Let's just all blame Fred, even though he didn't make this one.
So Megawatt is going to activate that flute and head probably to Meyer, just to double check to see if they're in go mode.
I mean, I'd go ahead and complete it. If so.
Well, of course.
If there isn't a medallion there, we will go ahead and start the big key guessing game since, yeah.
Looks like Megawatt's gonna get some safeties first. Cool Papa Bell, it is based on average time. And it's Ether!
Oh! Wait, what's he doing?
Flute, mirroring so he can flute. And, are we gonna get Pyramid Fairy here? It looks like it.
I would have checked checkerboard, honestly.
Oh yeah, he did. Megawatt completely did not check Meyer Shed or checkerboard.
Oh my. Well, okay.
Megawatt was so trolled by Meyer being Ether that it completely slipped his mind to go check checkerboard in Meyer Shed. But Frostbite's gonna do it for him.
Probably was like, oh wait, Frostbite, can you do that? I completely just, yeah, no, okay. Just a key to burn it in a bottle. But what's checkerboard gonna have for us? Oh my goodness, that's hilarious.
Hey Frostbite, I forgot to check Meyer Shed and checkerboard. Can you kind of do that for me?
Oh my gosh. Oh, it's just toy rupees. Man, that's... I wish I could hear that call right now. Just like, how did you forget to do that? I was tilted, okay?
And Megawatt's gonna pick up the blue mail here.
Also, is that a hole in the side of the pyramid? I have never seen that on the right side.
And so Pyramid Fairy has for us today just shield 3 and 10 arrows.
Alright. There are 22 locations in the basement of Ganon's Tower where the big key can be. Get your guesses in chat, 1 to 22. I'm guessing 22. Where do you guys think it'll be? Where do you think it'll be, Jetters?
I always just guess 7, unless it's inverted, and then I guess 15. That's my rules.
Also, if you are a subscriber to any of the Speed Gaming Network or have donated 250 bits to any of the Speed Gaming channels, you have access to, if you win, get put on a leaderboard for this tournament. Also, I think if you are a Patreon to Speed Gaming, that also counts, but I am not sure on that one.
And so Top Life is facing off against Cold Stare, finishing off the eye puffs here. Meanwhile, Mystik is in Eastern, going to finish that one off.
Alright. And the guessing game is stopped now. Small key. Another small key. Fun fact, if you find 2 small keys, I hear it's a 60% chance of it being tile room.
And there's Ether.
Where?
Frostbite found Ether in the fire bar room.
Is he up to 8 at this point, or?
Yes. I believe it was 8.
Well, it would be if he didn't do right side first.
He went full left, okay.
Wait, so... how are we counting this? I guess we're going by what Frostbite... Yeah. Did he check the double fire bar room? Or the, fire snake room, I mean?
Yes.
So that's 9, so it'll be... I think it was compass room.
Wait. Oh. I was gonna say, if Megawott left to go to Meyer.
Oh my goodness.
Wait, did Megawott find the key?
Yes.
Did I miss that?
It was in compass room.
Okay.
Did he check fire snake room? I don't even know. Can somebody figure that out, please?
Maybe he didn't. I swear I saw him go that way.
Yeah, but did he check it before Megawatt found the big key and told him?
Oh, Yeah, I don't know.
We're just gonna say he didn't.
So does that count as... What does that count as for the guessing game? Because Frostbite...
8 plus whatever. Yeah, but, oh man. Yeah. No, we're just gonna go by He's picked up 8 chests, and however many more he checks before he finds the big key gets added. Yeah, that's what we'll go with. That's usually the rule anyway, right?
Co-op makes things wacky.
Yes, it does.
Well, so Frostbite did full left, so it would be 5, 6, did Firebar Room, and this would be 7.
No, he's at 8 right now, is what we're going with.
Someone in chat told me he went full left. I wasn't paying attention to Frostbite at the time.
9, 10, 11.
Okay.
Aristidubuis, congratulations. You are our winner for today.
So, meanwhile, on the leftover side, Mystik finishing out Ice Palace here while Top Life is doing Eastern.
I am sorry for the butchering of your name.
I would say Aristide Dupuis is how I would pronounce it.
Yeah, it does kind of look French, doesn't it? Finish. Question mark. I don't know.
Either way, Moldor Tomb is dead. Megawott crossing over and checking that chest, getting a heart container, and we will see Agatu very shortly.
Oh, apparently it is a French name. It's very nice. Unfortunately, I don't know French pronunciations.
And down goes Cold Stare on Mystic side. Top Life finishing out Eastern there, and let's see how they're gonna split this up after. Ooh, nice triple on Megawatt. And down goes Agatu.
I'd have one of them do, the fire lock section and the other do the rest while they're doing that.
And it looks like Top Life is headed in, as well as Mystik, to Desert to finish that off.
Oh, Megawatt still hasn't done Aga. I forgot about that.
Yep, we got...
Did he complete Vitreous?
No.
Okay, so gonna do that after as well.
And Frostbite near the top here, gonna powder for some extra health and take on Moldorm 2.
You know, another odd little quirk of co-op is that usually one player ends up with a bunch of health and the other player ends up with more, as is shown on the left side. Although Mystik still got a fair amount.
Yeah, Frostbite has less as well than Megawatt. Megawatt almost muscle memory checking that hint there and realized I don't need to know where anything else is. And Frostbite taking on Aga 2.
You know, I love when the blue ball just like explodes inside the wall.
And down goes Aga 2 for Frostbite. So we'll probably see Frostbite go into Aga 1 as well. And looks like we got some sync going on for the Landmo fight.
One. Yep. Just completing for Mystik. Man, that those Titans myths really hurt Team Leftovers though.
Yeah, it was a good thing Megawatt bailed out Frostbite with that K45 check. Or this could have been a different story. And Aga not being too kind with those blue balls. Finally, Megawatt taking them down.
Yep, now just gonna go finish off Meyer and then go ahead and defeat Ganon.
So Megawatt crossing his fingers, hoping for that Godmire. Oh, Mystik never finished Skullwood, so going back for that. Gonna go get revenge on the monk. Meanwhile, Toplife is gonna check Pyramid Fairy and find, believe it was... I can't remember what Pyramid Fairy had.
Nothing really much. Yeah, it wasn't important. I think there might have been a bottle.
Oh, a shield, that's right. A shield.
Shield.
I knew it had some kind of item in there, I just didn't remember what. Yeah, it looks like Mystik never really opted to go pick up that half magic. Toplife knows it's there, and Mystik just apparently does not want it. So now it looks like Toplife is gonna be headed up to GT.
Ooh, careful there, Mystik.
Yeah, by the time that Frostbite is done with Aga, Megawatt will let him know where that big key is.
Yep.
Well, luckily for our runners, it is on the good Firelock side and not the cutscene Firelock side.
Alright, and down goes the moth.
So Megawatt headed on back to Vitreous, and so we've got we're still
Frostbite
missing.
and Megawatt are gonna be done pretty close to each other.
Yep. We're still looking for another sword and a red mail, so I don't know if Megawatt's picked up both items in here, but something like that could show up.
I don't see them, picking up extra stuff just for red mail, though.
Well, what I mean is it could show up on Vidi, possibly.
Ooh, I guess he didn't get the spooky glitch. I kind of wonder how that got named anyway. Just like, of all the things to call a glitch, why spooky action? Like, it just makes zero sense, but it's pretty cool anyway.
Because spooky things happen in the dark.
Also, did Topplife really not finish Aga 2? Or do Ganon's Tower at all?
Just got access to it.
Oh, cause... Wait, he did?
Yeah. And it looks like we've got blacksmith chain going on Mystik's side, so gonna get that third sword.
And moreover, we are about to see Ganon on Megawatt's side. Gonna mirror straight to the top of the pyramid, so just gonna jump right in.
Alright, so Megawatt using dash strats here, and now getting a double spin off and some more dashes. Very nicely executed.
Alright. On to phase 4.
Ooh, taking a hug!
But has a fairy.
Wow, Ganon teleport, man, that right, like, he teleported like a foot next to him.
Also, almost got fire batted off the ledge, but managed to avoid it narrowly again. And GG to Megawatt.
Well, there's the fourth sword and the red mail in Rando Room.
GG. Do you have his official time?
Yep, Megawatt finishing with official first place. SRL time of 1 hour, 39 minutes, 27 seconds. And Frostbite's gonna be on the way to Ganon here as well. Meanwhile, Top Life continuing to clear GT. Fortunately for Top Life, we know where it is, and it is on right side.
Oh man, that's gotta feel bad though, just like seeing one of the other two dot done.
And we are joined by Megawott. GG.
Megawatt.
Thank you.
So, how'd you feel about the seed?
I felt pretty good. Like, obviously a lot of things really early worked out. We got Dark World access really quickly. Some of our early decisions just in the Dark World as well worked really well. Because I had already done all the South stuff when I went to Village of Outcasts the first time. With my intention was just to go to Skullwoods, but I decided since I'd already done all that stuff down south, I just go to Thieves Town with Frostbite. Which ended up in me getting the boots, and then I went to Skullwoods and got my mirror. So that routing worked out exceptionally well, and it was feeling really good up until the hookshot flub. The hookshot flub had me feeling like a little iffy. Like obviously it cost us a bit of time, but our early game was strong enough to make up for that.
What happened with the hookshot anyway? Did
Frostbite just forgot. He just forgot.
Did he realize he forgot, or
he realized after the fact? Yes, and I made a point to go over there. Like I was already headed. It was after ice. I was already headed over to get my half magic, and go clear desert to make up some time. And then I just decided, I decided to route that in alongside it, and found the hookshot. So just ended up doing Swamp too.
Frostbite.
Yep, Frostbite just finishing up and has the official second place time in SRL of 1 hour 41 minutes 54 seconds.
So what happened to your opponent or to your opponents is that they never turned in the mushroom until really late.
Ooh.
And we are now joined by Frostbite. And I do have to ask Megawatt. We had a bit of a laugh when you went to the Meyer area, found out it was Ether, and then left. Did you have a little conversation? Hey, Frostbite, can you kind of check Meyer for me?
Yeah, that's kind of exactly how it went. I freaked out when I found Flute because I was completely expecting it to be in GT. I just wanted to cut off like all the loose ends we had in the overworld first. So I freaked out when I found Vanilla Flute, went straight to Meyer, and then I got really bummed out when it was Ether, so I just bailed and went back to doing Pyramid Fairy like I had originally planned. And so I just completely blanked on checking Meyer Shed and Checkerboard Cave. Oh man, that was a little silly, but oh well.
Yeah.
I'm glad Ether just wasn't there. That would have been unfortunate.
But looks like both Mystik and Top Life are in GT, and Mystik will pick up that big key. Meanwhile, Top Life is ascending the gauntlet. But yeah, I mean, this was a fun one to kind of watch. Like, at times it was kind of all over the place, and yeah, that they found the hook shot, and they had it for quite a while over YouTube. And
I wonder whose fault that is.
And so, but fortunately for you guys, they missed the Titan's mitts for quite a while as well, longer than you missed the hook shot.
Yeah, well, I realized I'd missed it because I mean, obviously, I picked up the purple chest, and the whole reason I didn't save and quit was so that I could check Cave 45 on the way to returning the purple chest. And I don't know if you guys have played a lot of co-op, but it is way more mentally taxing than a regular run because you're constantly sort of shooting ideas off each other and whatnot. And so I was about 3/4 of the way to the purple chest when I realized, oh, I didn't check Cave 45. That's probably not good. But we figured we would come back to it later. But my favorite part is that I think I literally just opened the front door of Swamp Palace, and the Megawatt says, darn, it's hookshot, so we'll run over to K45 right back to open the front door of Swamp Palace for a second time within 15 minutes. So
yeah, I saw that.
1 minute.
I noticed. Yeah, I noticed that as soon as Megawatt picked up the hook shot, you just stopped everything and went over there and got the hook.
Yeah, I guess the other thing we kind of regretted talking about it afterwards was when he found the flute. We were kind of both so sure that we were in go mode at that point in time that it wouldn't be ether that I wanted to just not have to come back up the mountain afterwards. I mean, I guess I could have gone into GT, done Hera afterwards, and then gone and got the flute, and it obviously would have been better, but I was not, I just heard the word flute, and I was like, all right, I'm getting the heck out of whatever I'm doing, and I'm going
Yeah,
to
we
get
just kind of both panicked like
'Cause
popped off at that point.
Yeah, basically Megawatt was like, oh, I'm just going to do these checks because I got a bit of a lead on you, and then we'll go find the stuff in GT. And when he found it, it was so surprising that it kind of threw us off guard. So
Yeah, the whole just like forgetting to actually check Meyer shed in the checkerboard cave.
oh yeah.
I wish we could have been in that call to hear what the reaction was. Just like,
Yeah.
why are you having me check Meyer shed? I thought you just did that like.
You don't understand how many things we messed up in one of these routes, so I'm never calling him out for that, because the time maybe I forgot to check the powder the first time I went to Kakariko Village like I was supposed to, and then of course the hookshot scenario. But no, it was sort of, it was fair. I was free right then. I just whipped over there, and it made sense to just get it done. But no, it worked out pretty well for us. I mean, obviously, I don't know if you guys saw my mini Moldorm cave, but that bomb landed right on top of both of those mini Moldorms, and neither one of them died. And then I ran out of bombs. Of course, then I go pull the sword out of Hyrule Castle, and it's like, the mushrooms in Zelda, so that thing won't be important. Okay, 10 minutes later, I'm going back into Hyrule Castle to get the mushroom out of the bottom. But it was a fun scene.
Yeah, two out of 3 fetch quest items paid off big.
Yeah, huge, exactly. Yeah, and we got some, like, I think, you know, I don't think I'm ever going into Hyrule Castle to get the mushroom in that scenario, so I'm not even going to consider that. But if I'd remembered to get the hook shot when I meant to, we probably shaved I don't know, each 2 minutes maybe, because it ended up in me full clearing pod and Megawatt doing some other things as well. But all in all, it worked out really, really, really well for us. The fact that Megawatt chose to go into Thieves Town instead of skipping that until later and ended up with the boots a lot earlier than he potentially could have made a big advantage. And the fact that none of us died on the early bosses either is because that's one thing you also know about us in co-op is a lot of times you end up with very low health because it's hard to remember where the heart containers are, and you end up skipping a lot of heart pieces you'd run into in a regular game. And so he did a very low health moth fight. Mine was a bit higher, but I think his went a bit better than mine. But neither one of us died, so it was we both played well.
That's the important thing right there.
Yeah.
I think both of the other two ended. Oh no, gets wall mastered. I think both of them got deaths on Mothula.
Oof. Yeah. With how early you could go do Mothula, it's hard to resist trying at the very least, and we didn't really have a whole lot of gear at that point.
Yeah. But you know, back to what you said about co-op being taxing. Not to mention, like, when you're running through doing your checks, if you're just doing a normal race, once you find something, you don't have to remember where it was. You just have to remember that you checked that area. But in terms of certain things, like when we were pointing out, because they hadn't found the Titan's Mitts for a long time, and Mystik had the mushroom and Top Life didn't, and it was quite a while before they checked that mushroom. And then I said, well, Mystik, once they find out that the Titan's Mitts are on mushroom, they're going to have to remember to tell Top Life where it is. So you have to remember all the way back where mushroom was during a race, and that can be definitely mentally taxing.
Yeah, that's I think Megawatt checked it fairly quickly, and that is definitely a consideration because I especially if you don't both have it. I mean, with powder we both had it, so it wasn't as crucial. But with that mushroom, where it was kind of an early fetch quest, but we already had Dark World access, so I can understand not doing it. But we did a few of these practice seeds, and we sort of figured out that trying to cover your fetch quests, and trying to, like, instead of just constantly exploring new areas, making sure you have the same sort of gear, so you're, you know, when you have way different items than your partner, it's so easy to forget that they picked up a bottle or they picked up the mushroom, and I don't check those things always necessarily, especially if I have other things to do. So no, that was a huge play for us. I mean, it was funny. I found absolutely nothing at the start of the seed. I was basically chasing Megawatt the whole time. But the other thing is when you're in dungeons like Pod, and like I went through Pod, I don't know, about 40 minutes before the end of the game, and then trying to remember back, okay, where were all those small keys? What's the most efficient way for Megawatt to go through this? Because in average time, it matters, and so it's not just about you know, me helping him finish. It's about him helping me finish right to the end through Ganon's Tower. And all in all, I think our splits worked pretty well today. We finished about 2 minutes apart, which is a little probably more than you'd like, but it was pretty even.
Yeah, we still got pretty damn close.
Yeah.
So
because I mean I've had some of these practices where I'm 10 minutes behind my partner just because of the way things go. I end up going in dungeons that don't have anything, and they end up go mode in 8. Well, I go mode 3 or something like that, right? So being cognizant of trying to split overworld checks and dungeon checks so you don't vastly outstrip your partner. But yeah, no, it's a super fun mode. I hadn't played a lot of co-op until it was noted that it was going to be in the league, and it's a totally different game trying to do it with 2 people. So
Yeah, because there's trade-offs to, like, okay, so like for example, when you both did Thieves Town at the same time, you could say that more efficient routing would be to have one of you check Skullwoods or something, and then one of you check Thieves Town. But at the end of Thieves Town was the boots, so both having the boots as soon as possible is a big deal, you know. So it's like there's trade-offs to, well, you could split dungeons, but if something major pops up in one dungeon, one of you is not going to have it until you go back to do it.
yeah, that was actually just blind luck that it ended up being the boots. The reason Megawatt did Thieves Town is because he'd already cleaned up everything south of that in the Dark World, and so by going to Thieves Town first, and with the mirror being in Skull Woods, which was also very lucky, it meant that he could go to the north more quickly. And with Thieves Town, the reality is you're basically full clearing the darn thing no matter when you do it. I mean, you can save some time with boots if you find it beforehand. You can save some time if you know you're not, like, because we ended up almost exactly tied about halfway through the dungeon. But I think, you know, we always try and keep sort of within a dungeon of each other completion. So you'll notice at certain times, you know, instead of going exploring, he went and cleared desert, I went and cleared ice, just because we knew there was nothing there that we needed. We were both figuring that Meyer was going to be a post-GT thing at that point, and he was never going to be closer. I was never going to be closer to ice. So we're constantly trying to figure out, okay, go get the good items and clean plus exploring. And it adds a nice dynamic, because we've done practice seeds where certainly someone does too much exploring, they end up way behind, you end up checking things you don't need, but then you do some practice seeds and maybe you skip a few things and end up costing yourself a lot of time. So I think we were quite fortunate in our routing today, but also sort of the choices we made helped that as well.
Yeah.
Also, another thing that's gonna hurt a bit, Mystik still doesn't have Ether and is doing the climb.
Oh, no,
yeah,
not like this.
That's a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, and it looks like Topplife found out when Mystik was already in the middle of the climb that Ether was required from Meyer, so...
Oh, so they did the same gamble we did.
So Topplife had to complete Skull Woods, and he ended up doing that before checking the Meyer medallion.
Oh.
Yeah, and when you're in the middle of that climb, you know, it's not like you're gonna just stop and go into the GT basement to get it.
I mean, if you're... you might be better off actually doing that.
He was pretty near the top. Like, right now, he's about to go to torture.
Oh, yeah, he's through the gauntlet. That's different, yeah. No, that's, I mean, there's a reason I have this piece of paper with all this gibberish scrawled on it in front of me right here, right now, so...
I mean, honestly, I would have checked Meyer first just to make sure you're in go mode, but,
yeah.
You know, whatever.
Yeah, that's you know, other little considerations that you kind of have to think about as a teammate, like knowledge of what is required for Meyer when you're missing a medallion is kind of important, and you know, probably the best thing for the leftovers would be Top Life, is because he got the flute quite a like maybe about 5-10 minutes ago, and probably should have just went over to Meyer at least right away just to double check. You know, are we good on medallions, or are we looking for something?
Yeah. I mean, that was always on our mind because I never ended up picking up that Quake medallion. So the second we got Meyer, it was the first thing we were looking for. And see, we weren't looking to see whether or not we'd have to go find Ether. We were looking to see whether or not I'd have to go to Kingston to pick up Quake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This has been kind of a rough seed for Team Leftovers.
Yeah. Well, with the all dungeons, the GT factor is unusual, right? You don't, unless you play a lot of like Key Sanity, or I mean, Entrance GT is sort of just its own beast. But we were like basically once we had Go Mode minus Meyer, our plan was GT. But because Megawatt had the lead on me, we figured it made more sense to get all those overworld checks done before GT, because he was still going to likely get there before I did anyhow. So. No, I did end up getting there a little before him, but that was, or maybe he did get there before me. I can't remember, but yeah, he was there first, and then I went right side or left side. I can't remember how it went. So I got there first. I went left side. He came in 30 seconds later. That's how. But I made the conscious decision to go in GT before Hera to scout it for him and get as much of that done as possible. But really, I should have gone to GT right when he said he found the flute.
Yeah. Also, Aga 2 down for Mystik now.
And Top Life about to go kill Vitreous. Top Life actually killed Aga 1 sometime mid-run, so we'll be able to go to Ganon after this.
Yeah, I'm a supporter of early Aga in all dungeon seeds. I know a lot of people really try and force it until after Ganon, but I think if you get an opportunity, like let's say you want to check the pyramid and go to Pod, you might be better off just routing Aga in on your way there and getting that out of the way. I mean, there's obvious benefits to doing it afterwards, but
yeah. But luckily for Mystik, Ether is in Firebar room, so it's not really that much of a commitment. I mean, it could be worse. It could be behind Ice Armos.
That would be awesome.
You know.
Yeah, it was a fairly nice seed, though. Silver's kind of in the way with the hint. We knew where they were. Swords were sort of in the way, too, so... We both picked up Tempered Sword at almost exactly the same time in Swamp Palace, which was funny.
And we've got a long pause on the screen for Mystik. And it looks like we're into phase 3 on Top Life side, and it does look like Mystik has put in a dot forfeit.
Yeah, he probably just realized about the Ether. Oh, that's too bad.
But Top Life's going to finish this one out, looks like. Into phase 4. And looks like we'll get a double here. Missing out on the triple. One more silver to go. And down goes Ganon for Top Life. So once Top Life crosses that bridge, we will get the official SRL time for you. And then we will get both of them in here if we can for an interview. So Top Life finishing with a third place time of 1 hour, 59 minutes, and 22 seconds. GG to Top Life. So we will try to get both of them in here for an interview.
GG's.
Alright, so... Okay, it looks like they will be joining us for an interview. And we are joined by Mystik.
Hello.
Hello.
GG's, Mystik.
Yeah, GG's, man.
GG.
GG's. So how about that seed?
Shovel. Shovel, shovel, shovel.
Ether.
Yeah, once he said Ether was Meyer, I was done. I wasn't going back into GT again. That's why I was just kind of doing things.
You know, I gotta ask, why didn't you check the Meyer medallion before going Skullwoods?
No flute.
No flute.
Didn't you? I thought we had... Well,
We full cleared GT without having the flute.
ah.
And we thought we had like every check else before going up there. So
Wait,
yeah.
no, you fluted out of the... After you finished Skullwoods, you, mirrored and then fluted.
I hadn't killed Skullwoods yet. I finished Gunstar before finishing Skullwoods.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, why didn't you, I guess I'm asking why not check the Meyer medallion before Skullwoods going back?
Well, that's more because it's...
Frustration.
No, I had to activate the flute, and then Skullwood is there. It's slower to go down the...
Yeah,
At first.
that does make sense.
And I didn't really think about the medallion at that point. I don't think I would have changed my mind either way.
So, in terms of co-op, have either of you done co-op before this?
We did a practice run yesterday.
Which went a lot better.
So, let me ask, what kind of challenges were you running into in terms of, not necessarily the seed, but in terms of, how you guys decided to route and, like, how to communicate information, things like that?
Well, we tried to split our early game routing pretty well, and then couldn't find a weapon, and Waldorfs were being a pain. And so we ended up just kind of checking everything together.
Nah, not having a weapon really sucked for a long while. There.
But,
Like, that none of us checked escape, and if we had just got the weapon, we can kill Moth much earlier. Blind would have been easier to fight.
Yeah. And being that the mushroom was the Titan's mitts, I'd have to say that's a good knowledge on your part, Mystik, to remember where that mushroom is to communicate that to Topplife, because that was one of the concerns. It's like, when you're doing a normal seed, by yourself, you're gonna check an area and you'll be done. And generally, you don't have to remember what was there exactly and where exactly it was. Just that you've completed. Okay, I've completed escape. I've completed, back of escape, and having to remember where mushroom was definitely has to add a factor to how you plan things and what kind of things you're thinking about.
yeah.
It
I
was,
see. Go ahead, Tom.
yeah, it was a bit sad with the mushroom because I did all the north side checks there and routed in catfish. And then I remember, I haven't picked up the mushroom yet because I wanted to skip it. So, and that kind of annoyed because that meant we left that spot alone for a while.
Yeah, we saw that, and we saw when you were doing catfish, we were like, okay, here comes the mushroom check, and we were like, oh wait, you didn't have it. So yeah, that definitely we were looking to see what kind of things would push you in that direction, and flute would have been one of those, but unfortunately the flute was, way at the end of the seed, so it definitely played a role in the seed. But you guys did find hookshot, and you had hookshot for quite a while over the Fendrana drifters. So you did have that advantage there for a little while.
Yeah, let's see it. But a hookshot kinda gave... Yeah, the get above a nice rod. If you had a tightness.
Yeah.
And swamp, of course. Yeah, swamp was big. It had a lamp and weapon and whatnot.
But I mean, in terms of plans going into this, like, did you have a preordained plan of how you're going to split this up, and did that kind of mostly pan out throughout the run, or did you have to change things as you went?
It panned out pretty well to start. Like I said, we had the early game idea, and then I just completely blew it in Moldorm Cave, so he checked Moldorm Cave, and but once we got Dark World access, we kind of had to reset our game plan, and it started out pretty well. I mean, I even got through Blind with like no stuff, so Blind had the boots that kind of started opening things up for us.
Yeah, boots leading to the book, and being able to have that extra speed helps a lot.
Yeah.
But yeah, does any of our runners here have any other comments for the seed?
Nope, just thanks for getting up. I guess a little bit early to call this one, and it was a funish seed, and yeah, GG's to. I want jet seeds, man. Not quite. It wasn't quite there, but no, it was a blast, like every other race we've had in the league, and thanks for the people behind the scenes putting it on for us.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the call, guys.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Yep, and thanks to our runners for putting on a great race for us today. Very exciting. And make sure you give them a follow. Links are in the chat. Also, make sure you follow our trackers, Cool Papa Bell and Literally Jen, and my co-commentator, MathGirl718. And then if you're looking for some more league action, we've got at 3 p.m. Old Swagga Jackson versus Blinds Bandoliers, and that's and then after that, that's gonna be a double header. So 15-30 minutes after that, we're gonna have them back again, and so stay tuned for that one. Any final thoughts, Math Girl?
Nope, fun race, and I look forward to more of these.
And that will do it for us. So thanks for watching, and we will see you all later this afternoon.